Hello and welcome, Adam Thomas from Balancing Touch Reflexology. So good to see you and thanks for joining me today. Today we are going to explore what lines on the feet mean. So as a reflexologist, you get to see a lot of feet and you get to explore and discover all these little markings on the feet. And so lines is one of the ones that I see quite often. There's some common lines. You know, there's normal wrinkles and stuff on the feet, but there's definitely some lines and indicators that stick out more than others, right? So I want to share with you three different lines on the feet that I find are quite common among all the feet that I see. So the first one that I want to look at looks like this, okay? So it's in the ball of the foot area, and what you're looking for here, and what you'll see on many people's feet, is in the lung reflexes, you'll see kind of like tree branches going up right through the lung. It tends to be more in the middle of the foot, right through the lung reflex. And so what I've found this to be, and other reflexologists have found to be, is kind of, I'll call them pollution lines, right? So people that smoke, it's very common to see these lines. People that live in big cities where they're exposed to lots of pollution. The lungs take on a lot of and have to filter a lot of the chemicals and stuff that's floating in the air, right? So these lines will show up and be, visible. Something else to think about when you're looking at these lines is, are they kind of newer lines? Meaning, like, do they look like they're freshly carved out, right? Or are they kind of like, eroded around the edges and they look older lines, right? So, I've noticed that I've seen with people, who have been smoking for years, the lines will be quite, deep, and also they don't look fresh, right? They don't look like they were freshly carved out. They've been there for a while. So anyway, that is a really neat indicator, and you can ask the person too. Like, I have some of these lines, and I grew up with, a wood heat, right? So I was exposed to a lot of like smoke and stuff in the mornings, and that sort of thing, like throughout the day. So that's another thing to kind of ask clients and investigate if they don't smoke, right? Like, what kind of environment are they in, right? So there you go. That is pollution lines. They look like little branches, right? So look for that. And again, you can look on, there's the left side versus the right side of the foot, right? To see if there's some differences there. So another one I want to share with you that I see quite often is right here. Okay, so it's on the ball of the feet there. And the indicator with this one is that they are on both sides, okay? So make sure that there's like a smiley face on both sides of the feet, and then you know that you're dealing with some kind of issue that's right in here, okay? And a very common one is a hiatal hernia. So ask how ask if they, burp often, if they have any type of issue with their sort of stomach issues, right? It's like getting food coming back up or things like that, just an uncomfortable unrest in this area, right? So that's a really cool one to know about as well. These also can have to do with, especially if the line is a little bit more straight, it's right at the solar plexus area, right, that we're looking at, and goes outwards, so on the diaphragm line, right? So it kind of curves around that way. And this has to do with also people that have deep sorrow, right? Where it's like kind of hard for them to get out of bed or something like that, right? So these lines will show up. as well. So again, the indicator with this one, especially with the hiatal hernia, is that they're on both sides. And sometimes you're going to see, as I drew on the picture, that sometimes you'll get two lines. But for sure, there needs to be the smiley face on both sides of the feet. And then the last one that I want to share with you today is found on the heels. So if you go all the way around the heels, as I mentioned in the last video, if you haven't seen that already, where we talked about calluses, so calluses around the heel has to do with lower back stuff. So now what we're looking at is little tiny fissures, little tiny cracks in the heels. So if you see that, there's a good chance that there's some digestive issues going on, constipation, and even if they're cracked and kind of bleeding, so there might be a good chance that they're dealing with hemorrhoids, right? And sometimes they won't be, that obvious. They might be a little bit deeper up in, but there tends to be some serious, constipation issues and digestive issues with the fact of letting go, right? So clearing out your digestive system, right, is an issue for people who especially have, cracks in their heels, so little fissures. So yeah, so just check that out and see how it is that, when you see these three show up, just, ask your clients how, the first one was pollution, how their lungs are doing, how they, how everything's there. Hiatal hernia, those little smiley faces, how that's, if they get any burping or constant sort of acid reflux, stuff like that, right? And then the last one, cracks, actual physical cracks in the heels, right? Can be all the way around the outside, and just see how their digestive system is functioning, especially with letting go, right? So there you go. There's a couple, of course, again, there's a lot more lines and stuff that show up, and I might share with you in other videos more of those lines. But these ones tend to be ones that I see commonly all the time, so I just wanted to share them with you. So if you have some really cool lines that you see often show up, share down below in the comments so we can talk about it. That'd be great. Yeah, there you go. Until next time, remember to keep those feet happy. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for watching today. Let me know what you thought of this video by leaving a comment below. Any type of feedback can be useful and help others in reflexology. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and feel free to share it with anybody that you think might be interested in it. If you're interested in reflexology, this might be a channel to subscribe to. If you haven't already, hit, or better yet, step on that bell icon, and then you'll be notified when the next video is coming out. If you are looking for a reflexology chart, head on over to balancingtouch.ca. We have created a bunch of visually exciting, easy to understand reflexology charts for you. And if you have some more time, check out some other videos. Till next time, this is Adam Thomas from balancingtouch.ca. See you later.